Well, it's time to put a bow on our 2025 WVU football position previews by wrapping up with the specialists. What's going on, Mountaineer Nation? Welcome back into the Country Roads webcast. Here to put a bow on our 2025 WVU football position preview series here on the channel. The last thing we got to discuss here, we got to talk about the specialists. We'll go over our kickers, our punters, and our long snappers here for the upcoming season on this final video of this series. Appreciate you guys that have checked out all of these. If you have thus far, if you're just watching this one, it's the very last one. We got the whole defense we went through, the whole offense we went through. Be sure to go back and check those out on the channel. And just a quick reminder before we get into talking about these specialists, if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe here. That way you get these videos directly into your feed, stay up to date on the roster, the recruiting, the transfer portal news, all of that good stuff. And with the season rolling around, no better time. Game reviews, game previews each week as well to go along with a ton of bonus content for channel members like film reviews, player grades. If you want extra WVU football content, you can go that route as well. But if you can't do that and support us that way, you can support me fast, easy, and free just by hitting that thumbs up button on this video. Giving that thing a like helps us hit the YouTube algorithm, help this find more Mountaineer football fans like yourself. With that being said, let's talk about these specialists. All right, so here they are, your specialists for the 2025 season: kicker, punter, long snappers, and we're going to go over each of these. We'll run through them, but you see at the kicker, we brought in a redshirt senior in Cade Hensley, brought in another transfer in Ethan Head, a sophomore, to join the returners there. Punter, Ollie Straw's back, one of the best punters in the conference, and I think, a punter that maybe has NFL potential. You've added another one in Aiden Steyer, which is good to get another punter on the roster, and the two long snappers, McGuire Moss and Caden Seller. So let's highlight each of these a little bit, and then I'll give you guys my projected pecking order at each of the positions. All right, so first up, we got Cade Hensley, the redshirt senior, coming over, transferring from Coastal Carolina, where he kicked for them for multiple seasons there. Last year, saw action in every game, 16 of 19 of his field goal attempts, hit a 49-yarder as the season long. So right there, on the cusp of being able to kick from 50 plus, probably 16 of 19, pretty accurate. He hit 5 of his 6 attempts from 40 to 49, so even accurate in that range, which is good to see there. So I think he'll be a good kicker for us, a good chance that he is, your place kicker, hitting the field goals and extra points this upcoming season. More on that when we get to the pecking order, but super excited that we've added Cade Hensley, which, funny enough, the new WVU president also from Coastal Carolina, so sure they have some experience and know each other a little bit. And then we've got RJ Koshan, someone that we haven't really seen kick in game yet, but man, I'll tell you what, 5'10", 233, and he has a strong leg. He impressed me up there for the spring showcase. I think that he's a guy that could hit some long distance field goals. I don't know if he'll ever get a chance to win the job. I mean, it's wide open this year, so no better shot than now, right? But if he doesn't this year and he ends up being the kicker in the future, I'd be plenty happy with that because he does appear to have a very strong leg. So we have him on the roster as a redshirt junior. And then the other returner there at the position, Nate Flower, who honestly held his own as well, kicking in the spring showcase, 6'2", 184, local kid from Fairmont there. Fairmont senior remains on the roster now for his redshirt sophomore season. And then we've got the other new transfer in for West Virginia, this one coming from Tulane in Ethan Head, 6'1", 185-pound sophomore. So he's a little bit younger. Not only can he compete this year, but can help you in the future. And also think that he's going to be a very good kickoff specialist. I could potentially see that happening for Ethan Head here at WVU if he doesn't win the place kicking job, maybe at least holding that down. We'll see what happens. But someone else with good potential and has, multiple years left in his career to round out the kickers. Now let's talk punters. And if we're talking punters, of course, we lead the conversation with Ollie Straw. Been great since he came to West Virginia, native of Australia. Going to continue that this year, you would think, in his final season here at WVU. Has already played in over 37 career games, which is hard to believe. Preseason All Big 12 honors from Phil Steele, rightfully so. Like I said, I think he's one of the best punters in the conference and maybe has a chance to do it professionally. He averages 43 yards per kick and has placed 52 inside the opponent's 20-yard line versus only 6 touchbacks. So that just shows you a little bit of, his capability. Also has been academic All Big 12 throughout his career. Can't say enough good things about Ollie Straw. Excited to have him back for one final year. And then, of course, recently joining him on the roster now, we have Aiden Steyer, local kid right there from Morgantown High School. joins West Virginia as a freshman now. And I think it's big because we didn't have another punter on the roster. Now, not only does he get to learn from someone that's really talented like Ollie Straw, could set himself up to be the punter of the future, but it gives you some insurance if, lo and behold, knock on wood, anything was to happen. We do know that Ollie Straw suffered an injury last season. I think that was, or year before. I believe it was last year, but good to have another punter on the roster and good to maybe have a punter that you can develop for the future in Aiden Steyer here from Morgantown High School, the freshman. Which brings us to our two long snappers here. We'll cover them both together. McGuire Moss and Caden Seller. McGuire Moss is a redshirt junior, 6'1", 225 from Batavia, Illinois. He, of course, handled long snapping duties last year at times for West Virginia. Let's see, against Arizona and against Albany was times he saw action. So he does have a little bit of experience under his belt there. So, that's maybe if you're battling between these two, maybe the experience gives him the edge, as last year Caden Seller, of course, redshirted. But I think either way, one of these two guys will be snapping for the Mountaineers here in 2025. We'll see who it's going to be, but I'll give you my prediction now to wrap up this video as we talk projected pecking order for these specialists: kicker, punter, and long snapper. And so the way I see it, I kind of gave it away a little bit at kicker. I think Cade Hensley will be our kicker that handles, field goals, extra points. And I think back up to him, it'll be a battle between RJ Koshan and Ethan Head to see who gets the second spot there. Much like I think it could be a battle between those two for the kickoff specialist. But ultimately, I think if you're asking me today, I think Ethan Head handles kickoffs for West Virginia this year, the Tulane transfer, and Cade Hensley handles the field goal, the Coastal Carolinas transfer. And then, of course, punter, to given Ollie Straw's your main guy there, Aiden Steyer, the backup. Long snapper, I think is interesting. I don't know how that battle will pan out, but I'll give the edge to McGuire Moss because, like I said, he does have the experience. So on that alone, I'm going to say he'll be first string, Caden Seller second string. But that's just how I see the position battle shaping up here for the specialists. And as we wrap up our 2025 WVU football position preview series here on the Country Roads webcast, appreciate you guys checking out all of these, but I'd love to hear your all's thoughts as well in the comments. Let me know how you feel about kicker, punter, or long snapper for the upcoming season. We appreciate those interactions as we continue to try and grow the CRW community throughout Mountaineer Nation. Having said that, as always, I'm Jordan Cruz, and until next time, let's go Mountaineers.